pull you over for your safety. And for the safety of our loved ones, click it or ticket.
A ticket for not wearing your safety belt, $120. A life, priceless. Click it or ticket.
On December 14, the stars will align over American Samoa for a historic musical event you won't want to miss. The Pacific Island Foundation presents Stars of the Pacific Opera Gala, showcasing some of the world's top opera singers. Featuring global sensation Bene Patti, winner of international awards including the recent Opus Classic. Also featuring multi-talented Moses Mekai, renowned for his smooth baritone voice and dashing looks. Together with Bene, they make up 2/3 of the multi-platinum selling trio Sole Mio. Accompanying them is sought-after composer and pianist Dr. Ludwig Treviranus. And introducing bass baritone Samson Setu. One night only. Book your tickets now. Call 252-5569 or 258-1950 or email info@pacificislandfoundation.org.
Whaamaunia de Malediu de Tamasa to Olua is a tanga palolo I le po na po. O le sole o mutai de tui whaangai no le tātou talo whapas mo le uri whale mai I le atu no u. Ma I le mai ai o le fitu aso o le waloa I fo I mawhai unga o le whainga palota da loa tui ai Amerika Samoa. O te whaatalo whaatu se whaapopongo tala mai lau KVZK, tu sa o atu ma le tātou ofisa I whangatongo, tali tonu sa solonga le leile nei aso I whiau mga aluenga sa whiangai mo le tātou atunu o. E to muantu le nei a whiawhi to oroni ta maa wa maa le diu, au awai sa tanga palolo le po ana po. E sa reporti mai le vaenga le Marine Patrol, na lato maua le vala au mo se la veai. I le tau le iwa le po ana po, mai nisi sa whangota I lea o ngā sami, ma whaanatinati atu loa le vaenga sa sa wai le vala au.
Pea ma le iwa fasu 5 minuti ele iwa sa mato mawai le fala au fa pe wa fatia se sa fo I polva anisi fo yo mamaru le tonu sa anga ia tu tapololo I le ulu le mlai vanile o le mafuanga na o le fa lave ia ono le no fo talava I tulanga fo yo le tau ia ai mesi la fo I tulanga o lo tupu ai mesi I tulanga o le ia nei e ma e tai tausanga te itas e le mafuanga na walaina na tupu lea whaavlave ia ona o le no fauta ia ma le tantanga I mamao tulango whaavlave tupu whaafose e matu whamaumaunga e toa ono I la tōna I longo le waa ai toa lua I ta maa fo I o le atunu wa mauro la o soifua I whaavlawe na tupu le po ana po. O le sunga ia Henry Tavake ia masetasi fo I o taulelea o Peter. O le whaavlawe na tupu le po ana po whaapea ua a whaina lo la tō waa I se ngalu. Le ngalu la lea I le tūna nai ai ia o ave ai mai o na ola wala wato lua na fa pena o na fai nai a le to falea o lo saunga le mui la to o le vala au na mato maua na fin mai o I le ofiso le faleo le ofisa tele o le I whamtongo na mato maua I le vala au fa pena vala au mai se tamā na I lungo le vaa lea.
na ta wa foi Lieutenant Moava se fa matalanga wala tu maua o le ania le nei sa yai nei te mana fa tau masangalu malosi ma fa pelo na fuli o le taimi le na pa u mai lo ila to saidung o le va ai le sami e pe no fa fonga mai yai to fa mai le to ono saidung o le va na ma fa yo na fa sawina o se tasi li whangota sa tāpalo le vai mea lea le pō na whaade lau KVZK e whapea o whaata ia la ua au tāle palolo le ta whewhea atu sa tino maliu sa i tulou o se tasi o tamā ma o ina no la sila fia i loa wa i se whaalawe o tupu.
O le makonga koe kapalolo ang po. Ai pei ka e le oko mako wa ai le awa le malevale. Ai whake ia mako wa i ako ka whewhea bai ni kangaka. Wala le ngo so ko fa ya ku mako awa ko ka ngaka le mere ka fea mai sami o mari ia o la kwale ka ikayo ka kang ko ia ke ka ko pa fa ri mo ka ka kai ia ka ikala ngi ko ke ia o wa ya ku fo ri nos ko ke masa ni ia o mako pi va ro le pi ro mako va mare ri ia ai ka mo fa yesi mai dunga ma mai ai mo ke le ro se me ko ai pe kai ore va arenga mako fakas me va aia o fakia re va are ka re ngale de va ngore au ia ai ke mi nga pa u ro la lo mo se ke ngai ko ingai ia ala ma ko ke o ro se me ke mi mo ko ko ai ke ia wa au mai ro sko ingai ko mako ofisia ko ro ye e ma ses ai ke wa mo ko kala i ro ofisa fa me nga mo ko e ko ro ngai ko ingai nga feo ia sko ngala mo bang po leo ngale va area leo mai va leo a si ko ina se nga ngala ko lua ia ore wo ma mai sko ina si area nga mo bang po ia area nga ko e ma lo se ro ngi kaya ia la mo sko ina ia fa kai re di do ka mo sko ina i ka ko la ore ele
o se tasi o tamana ma le liu fa tasi ma le nei tama le pōna fa ta mawalo na tino ma liu le tau nei ma sa ye tonu lava lau KVZK le teimi na au mai eilo na tino ma liu mo le maota ngasa whanga alu e leo se teimi mo mua le nei wa ma le DYD si le vaenga lava le nei e lata le malava ale le tafuna i teimi lava wha pene e tae le tatu palolo e le mo whauna whailo mai pena yeni o whaola po vaenga mo mia mo whaalo lai fo sei i lungo le vae le teimi le whaale lave. 2 men have died while fishing for pololo off the airport coast this morning amid rough sea conditions marked by unusually strong currents. 4 other men who were on the same aliyah survived. Search and rescue were called in to recover the body of a man after he was pulled out of the water by 2 other fishermen who were nearby close to 9 p.m. last night. Lieutenant Okesene Moava of Marine Patrol told KVZK News they responded to a report of a small boat in distress in the waters of Tafuna near the Tafuna airport. The small aliyah, according to Lieutenant Moava, was struggling to return to shore because of strong northeasterly winds and rough seas. One of the fishermen told KVZK News they found a body of one of the men floating close to the airport, so they called the police for help. He said they applied CPR, but it was already too late. The other fisherman who was on the same aliyah said when the rescue team arrived, they found 4 other men floating nearby in the same area and brought them back to shore. Marine Patrol Lieutenant Moava said information gathered from the 4 survivors confirmed their aliyah flipped when it crashed against an unusually strong wave. Lieutenant Moava also said this appears to be a freak incident, which is usually hugely distressing for the people in the boat, family members and friends of the men. Lieutenant Moava said it was very tragic, adding that our people should make sure they understood the ocean and could swim before heading out. Every year around this time, hundreds of enthusiasts flock the territory's beaches and brave the waves to collect the precious catch, which often retails for about $80 per 16 ounce of palolo. Is a report you left at no mai lava ia tato ofisa o leo whaamaria mai ia suafa o tamai to luana mahali liu le nei whaalavelave le pōna pō o se taisi o leo o maliu o se tamasa a vea ma whaatono le ofisa o malai taalo ia Henry Tavake ma se tamai suafa ia pita mai le whioanga o ili ia whaamaise le ngango le tua ia inga loto whaavavau o no le nei whaalavelave matu ia ua to e sea ie pele. In our news just in, 2 men whose bodies were pulled from the water by the Marine Patrol have been identified. Marine Patrol named Henry Tavake, the former director of Sports Complex, as the man found dead in the waters of Tafuna last night, and the other man whose body was recovered from the same canal near the Tafuna airport this morning has been named as Peter from Ili Ili. From the crew here at KVZK News, our deepest condolences to the grieving families. O le sole na whaamutai na le tue whaongai na le tātou talofa pass e uru whale mai e se tasi te tonu o Amerika Samoa. I le saunuanga le fionga de Kovanasili a le manu pale poisi a le ngā maunga i nei vai asa wa tuanai na tā uaini si o swinga o fofo e le malo ma le toi amataino whainga mlanga masani i le territoria pe o na masani ai ali o mai le COVID-19 fulmaliva. Today is the last day of the talofa pass as announced 2 weeks ago by the Honourable Governor le manu pale poisi a le ngā maunga. Talofa Pass is the official travels application endorsed by the American Samoa government for travelers to apply and track their travel process to American Samoa during COVID. Here is more.
O se tasi nei o matau pusa telefo inisio le tunu una fa o mai fi na ngalo mabanatu o le talo fa pass ma o vainga uma ia na so no ia le kovan sili na mali lenga ina i vayaso o tuanai a o loma le fainga palo te tele le tunu na ta o le fengo le kovan sili ale manu pale poisia le nga maunga o ia le fofanga lau fainga malo o le afa mutai ana fa maunga masu esu enga pe yo na masani ai i pepa fa tomu i lunga le fa lele ai le i taunu mai Amerika Samoa o se vainga la le nei o le saunoanga le kovan sili.
Wa ia nei le fuafuanga o lau whainga malo, o le awha muta le talo wha pasi, i le masina le neo Novema i lo naso as funma lima. O le ale toe tau fia whainga malanga, ona o lea tūlanga. Ai o le awha o ngā ina pēa, le whatumunga o le nei polo kalama, e wha o ngā e le whainga malo, i ana wha maumaunga masu e suenga, e pei o na masani ai, I pepa whaatumu I lunga o waalele, ai le taunu mai Amerika Samoa.
The Honourable Governor Lemanu Palipoisialanga Maunga confirmed 2 weeks ago that starting today, November 15th, our online registration portal system, the Talofa Pass, will become an opt-in system. During his recorded message 2 weeks ago, Governor Lemanu Palipoisialanga Maunga said, throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, his administration has been guided by science, data and facts to put American Samoa on the road to recovery with the public health and safety of all American Samoans. Together, we have made tremendous progress in crushing this virus, and the last few months have shown significant decreases in key areas of our data, including new COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations. This has allowed us to lift major restrictions and move forward with our most significant reopening steps to date. Governor Lemanu says although Talofa Pass travelers will be strongly advised to the online registration to be able to enter quicker and less hassle at the airport and seaport. Travelers who do not register online will be required to complete paper forms on arrival and wait in longer lines. Subject to American Samoa immigration laws, borders of American Samoa will return to pre-COVID status on December 1st.
Ma o leo tanu mai le whai unga lo ia o whainga palota le atunu ma le unga lo ia pe o na tuina mai le so o wha mauni ai le whiriwhiri o sui whai pule nei mo le isi paia inga le maota whai tulafono a Amerika Samoa. Mo le tūmalo wha palota numero tasi manua le oto e whiriwhiri ai nei le awhionga ia alu mamalu a le whilo ia lii ma le sui fonga whetalai o le maota ia Whetui Junior. Mo le tūmalo wha palota numero lua manua o wha maunia le toe whiriwhiria o le li whaipule ia ti o lii whawangi ngasai. Mo le tūmalo wha palota numero tolu vai whanua o whiriwhiri ai Sean Vaa. Mo le tūmalo wha palota numero 4 sa ole o whiriwhiri ai nei titia lii ki tara vai au. Mo le tūmalo wha palota numero 5 sua, numero tasi o toi whiriwhiri ai nei lua taua Jane Pan i le nofoa o le tūmalo. Mo le tūmalo wha palota numero 1 sua numero tasi o toi whiriwhiri ai avanga fono tua vao vai manga maiava. Mo le tumalo whaapalota numero fitu ma putasi numero tasi. Ua whiwhiri ai nei vailoata e te wati a matuanai. Mo le tumalo whaapalota numero valu ma putasi numero lua. Ua whiwhiri ai nei malai o le talu Melesio Gur. Mo le tumalo whaapalota numero iva ma putasi numero tolu. Ua whiwhiri ai nei vesi ai poia Samuelu. Mo le tumalo whaapalota numero sefulu, ma putasi numero 4, o whiwhiri ai nei tapai ala le pule Benjamin Vaivao. Mo le tumalo whaapalota numero sefumalitasi, ma putasi numero 5, o whiwhiri ai nei whai melelei Anthony Fue Allen. Mo le tumalo whaapalota numero sefulu ai tu au, o whiwhiri ai nei Manu Malo Wayne Wilson, ma sau asatoa tautolo i tua soli ai Ho Ching. Mo le tumalo whaapalota numero sefultolu for 4, o whiwhiri ai le whionga ia Phil John Sailua. Mo le tumalo whaapalota numero sefulfa a la taua, o toi whiwhiri ai le whonga whetalai o le mota, ia Savali Talavou Ale. Mo le tumalo whaapalota numero sefulmalelima, tua la uta, o toi whiwhiri ai le whionga ia Larry Sanitoa, ma Samuel Yoka Malaysia. Mo le tumalo whaapalota numero sefulwono, tua la tai, o whiwhiri ai, ma na valofa tutuila manase. Mo le tumalo whaapalota numero sefulfitu, le asina, o whiwhiri ai ape Mike Asifoa. I se whaamtalanga mai le ofiso whai ngā pālota e le seisi na whaalavelave. Mai le full tasi o swing o le whaavaya sa whai ai le pālota e na o le 5 swinga sa mawhai o na pasia. O le swinga lo no le nei swinga la atu i nā tuai i le whaipulo swings la i atatau e pālotai i le mauto sui. O le se swinga, o le swinga lo na valu, o le nei swinga, o le awidi ai le whaanga salonga e whaatula i ai le kovana, po le lutena kovana. O le swinga lo naiva e sui ai le Government of American Samoa i le American Samoa Government. O le swinga se fulu e sui ai le mauputasi i le mauputasi. I le swinga se fultasi e sui ai le asina i le asina mai tulangi. Na te ena uma le atunuu i se swinga tau whaaufi. The official results of the election are in, and here they are. For District Number 1, Manua, candidates elected, Alumamalu Alefilo Yali'i and Fetui Jr. For District Number 2, Manua, Tio Ali'i Fawanginga Sai. For District Number 3, Vaifanua, Lavea, Sean Va. For District Number 4, Saole, Titi Ali'i Kitara Vaiau. For District Number 5, Sua Number 1, Luaitawa Jean Pan. For District Number 6, Sua Number 2, Avangafono Tuavao Vaimanga Mayava. For District Number 7, Maputasi Number 1, Vailoata Etewati Amituanai. For District Number 8, Maputasi Number 2, Malayo Latalu Melesia Gur. For District Number 9, Maputasi Number 3, Vesiai Poya Samuelu. For District Number 10, Maputasi Number 4, candidate elected Tapai Alalepule Benjamin Vaivao. For District Number 11, Maputasi Number 5, candidate elected Faimelele Anthony Fue Allen. For District Number 12, Tuau, candidates elected are Manumawa Wayne Wilson and Sawasatoa Tautolo Itua Soli Ayo Ching. For District Number 13, for 4, candidate elected Phil John Sailua. For District Number 14, Alatawa, candidate elected Savali Talavou Ale. For District Number 15, Tualauta, candidates elected Larry Sanitoa and Samuel Yoka Malaysia. For District Number 16, Tualatai, candidate elected Manavalofa Tutuila Manase. And District Number 17, candidate elected for Lesina is Ape Mike Asifoa. Now, voters have approved only 5 of the 11 constitutional amendments on the ballot. The 5 amendments approved: Amendment number 6, giving Swains a vote in the House of Representatives. Amendment number 8, impeachment process of the governor and the lieutenant governor. Amendment number 9, to change the name from American Samoa, from a government of American Samoa, to the American Samoa government. And Amendment 10, to change the name Ma'aputasi to Ma'aputasi, as well as Amendment 11, changing the name Leasina to Leasina Ma'aitulangi. O la whaisa tātou malalonga pupu, atu e taliu mai lea, mon whaawina atu leo tātou tala mai lau KVZK. You're watching the news from KVZK, still to come. It's Lung Cancer Awareness Month in the territory, and DOH is urging smokers to quit. Abundance of palolo in the east and not so much in the west of the territory. And Australia's level of commitment disappointing, says Pacific NGOs. Those stories and more after the break.
Intended action. The Office of Financial Institution intends to promulgate the administrative rule below, pursuant to the authority vested in the Office of Financial Institutions by American Samoa, Code Annotated Section 281203. In summary, these changes will create capital adequacy requirements for depository institutions doing business in American Samoa that are not insured by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation or the National Credit Union Administration. Interested persons who wish to submit comments or request a hearing on this matter may submit comments in person to CV John R. Marsh, Commissioner Office of Financial Institutions at the Georgina Building, by email at john.marsh@tr.as.gov or by mail to Department of Treasury. Attention, Commissioner John Marsh, Executive Office Building, Pango Pango, American Samoa, 96799 by December 5th, 2022. Rule number 2022-0004, Title 28, Finance and Financial Institutions, Chapter 1, Capital Adequacy, 280101, Incorporation of FDIC Capital Adequacy Regulations. Each depository institution doing business in American Samoa whose deposits are not insured by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation or the National Credit Union Administration shall comply with the minimum capital requirements set forth in 12 Code of Federal Regulations, Part 324, applicable to an FDIC supervised institution as defined in 12 Code of Federal Regulations Section 3242 that has made the AOCI opt-out election under 12 Code of Federal Regulations Section 32422B2I. Each reference in the preceding sentence to a regulatory provision is deemed to be a reference to that provision as from time to time amended, re-promulgated, or substituted. Approved by Tuasivi John R. Marsh, Commissioner, Office of Financial Institutions. Re-promulgated or substituted. Approved by Tuasivi John R. Marsh, Commissioner, Office of Financial Intended.
Ile totally mai o tala mai lau KVZK o le masina le nei o lo whaatawina ai o le matanga wenga o le sui fomalo loina I tafuna eve ma masina o le kane so le mama o le whaamoemoe o le matanga wenga o le sanga whaalawi lo pelea I le atunuu I le ongonga le nei fo I whaamai o le kane so le mama I whaamamonga mai le matanga wenga o le whaamawina ai e tusa ma le lua tesi ma le 2 miliona le awhai o tangata I Amerika atoa sa afia le kane so le mama I le tausanga na te nei whaamamonga le CDC o lo manino ai o le kane so le mama o le kane sa le tele tangata na fiai soifua le tausanga na te nei ma la to telefo inisi na mau mawai soifua o vaenga masani lava lo whaataua ina el matanga luenga o le atunuu o le fo ia leo leo la tapa o isi o vaenga o na mawai le kanesa o le mama o le ea leanga makasa ona e mana vaina le tangata whaape maasu mai u amea pe a welo ma vaenga o taua o asbestos. The Department of Health in Tafuna is taking the opportunity this month of November, Lung Cancer Awareness Month, to highlight the burden and principal risk factors of lung cancer around the world. About 2.2 million cases of lung cancer were estimated to have occurred in 2021. The CDC estimations consistently placed lung cancer as the most common cancer in the world until 2020, when the number of cases of breast cancer slightly surpassed the number of cases of lung cancer. However, lung cancer has been and remains the most common cause of cancer death globally. Almost 1.8 million people died from lung cancer in 2021. The principal risk factor for developing lung cancer remains tobacco smoking. Other common causes include exposure to outdoor and indoor air pollution, diesel engine exhaust, welding fumes, and asbestos. Na ele pololo le tau nei ele te tele isi vaenga le atunu sa i vangana ele vaenga sa o le territory sa moli mawina le te tele le tau nei o le telo i lato na mawhai ona o atu le tau nei le whaasolo atu le ialenga na o lato na moli mawina le tele ai o le pololo o le tau nei le na vae ai le whaatawina o le nei foi matai ai le atunu i lumo le tala whaatai o le taulanga ele ngā tele o le whaletifanga ina uri whaape ma le pake whangaalu ma le maketi whangatongo o le tau le iputi pololo e tasi e whaasa furu tala valu se furu tala se furu ono au nese o le palolo. Palolo, the sought-after delicacy known as the Samoan caviar, did rise this morning, with the east of the island once again getting the more favorable results. The all-night early morning watchers who sacrificed sleep to go out and catch palolo were not disappointed and say there were too few people for the abundance of palolo this year. The abundance of supply this year did not bring prices down at all. There were various prices varying from $30 to $40 per teacup of palolo, while at Whangatonga Market, 16 ounce of palolo was selling for $80. Sellers were not budging with their prices, which soared higher than the market prices last year. Tātou tala mai a pia wa toi whaamanuina le tele wa onga I Samoa tuto tasi e ale so soani mai le Pacific Assist e awala atu le Blue Wave Wireless e whao atu ai le sota inga whanei ona po e ala le internet I le sidia ma le salau wa onga I tutono Samoa atoa. Na ripotia mai le talamua ia pia wa fo ai fo I le nei company ni masini computer e ono se fulu le matanga luenga wa onga e na ia so soani le nei proklama tawa tele moa onga I Samoa. Na whaafutai le li pule le Blue Wave le nei foai leo la so soani tele nei whaamoe a wale au ino whana wale atunu I mata upo pe o le scienisi so ta inga whanei ana po o le insinia whapea ma le matematika. To our news from Apia, Blue Wave Wireless, the Samoan telecommunications company that has installed satellite Wi-Fi internet access to cover to over 100 schools around Samoa, today received further equipment to help rural-based students close the gaps in the digital divide. Talamua reports Pacific Assist, a not-for-profit organization, handed over 61 computers to Blue Wave Wireless at the Minister of Education office. The computers will help Blue Wave continue to roll out its programs to assist schools and students in the rural areas access online learning and available resources to help close the digital divide. The computers donated by the Pacific Assist will be updated with programs that will help students access online programs and STEM learning, that's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I tala mai le Pasifika o whaadia le lewhia nisi o whaalapa le tonga tūma o te le Pasifika ia Australia ono le le ma hamana I o ana folfolanga whapea o le atutu whaatasi ma malo le Pasifika e avere whaau I malo te tele whailoa tuailo lato te te I le laititi o ngaruenga ia malo o whaia ia awhianga o le tau le olo a awhia I tele le neivaenga o le tulangi I le teimi o whanatanga te tae le malo le lalangi lo whaia ai kopito le teimi nei o lo whaitio ina ai nei whaalapa le tonga le malo Australia o nei fōlinga mai wa solo muri ese mai ana maupolo misi sa whai I tai o malo le Pasifika e tusai o a whianga le tau le olo le asas tau sanga maa whiele nei tulangi na whaadia le minister le atina le vai whafo Australia ia Pat Conroy o le naunau ta ingo Australia le teimi nei o le whianga lue whaatasi ma malo te tele e na ia sairi whaatasi so soani e ona mwhai ona tau whia nei a whianga I le Pasifika. To the Pacific Now, and Pacific non-government organizations are expressing their disappointment with Australia's level of commitment towards action on climate change issues. As the second and final week of negotiations begin in Egypt, climate activists are calling out the Australian government, saying it cannot afford to spend more time counting its chickens before they hatch if it is to strengthen relationships with the Pacific and earn the right to host COP31 in 2026 with Pacific Island countries. Despite firm calls from the Pacific for a dedicated loss and damage finance facility to be established, the Australian government has so far only supported the issue as an agenda item for discussion at the climate talks. Australia's Minister of International Development in the Pacific, Pat Conroy, said Australia's main goals for 1 week were to let the world know it wants to be part of a global solution. I tātou tala mai no mamau matua whaadia le whiawhia o tangata sa vai ngō saina wa tau o Guangzhou i le malo ono losa ona tau whiawhia peo i la tau taru mai le whaamai o le COVID-19 maliva. I ata peo na pueina le BBC o lo whetosua i whaapautolo alo i peo leo ma tangata o lea atunu ono le whiawhia telo tangata le purenga male malo ono losa ona whai peo i la tau le nei whaamai ai wa sa o loto le telo tangata o isi atunu o le laulangi. Ai le na o Guangzhou o lo tutupu ai le nei vevesi o vevesi whaape nei o mai tawina isi taulanga la lata i le vaenga o le atunu e peo le tumalo haiju. I le report le BBC o le totelo la tunei o tangata mahatitiva leo lo ngafa ma le fausio wa tina i te tele le malo i le vaenga o tangata o lato faitio le uti le suavai whaapea ai matau mafa ai wa tau le mawhai o na oi whala o loe whatau o no ai aingo lo COVID lo pangati ai pea le vaenga o le atunu. And finally, to our world news, crowds of residents in southern China's industrial metropolis, Guangzhou, have escaped a compulsory lockdown and clashed with police as anger at strict coronavirus curbs boiled over. Dramatic footage shows some overturning a police vehicle and tearing down COVID control barriers. Riot teams have now been deployed in the area. It follows Guangzhou's worst COVID outbreak since the pandemic began. Amid bad economic figures, China's zero COVID policy is under enormous strain. Tensions had been building in the cities of Haizhu district, which is under a stay-at-home orders. The area is home to many poorer laborers. They have complained of not being able to pay for food and not turning up to work, and food shortages and skyrocketing prices while living under COVID control measures. Ia usi mai loa se whapaponga neo le tātou tala le tau mo Amerika Samoa mo le nei whiawhi. E mātele na awaoa e te urusolo timunga o le mālua e whituono sa vidi mai mātu e sifo e se fulu i le se fulu lima mai le tula. Le asoluru e o le aso tofi e mātele na awaoa e te uru timunga o le vele valu fitu, mālua e fitu valu sa vidi angi le lautasi o le se fulu mai le tula. Mo le asfarida e o le aso fua e mātele na awaoa e te ape solo timu le vele valu valu ma le malua le e fitus valu sa vedi mai saute i se sae e se fulu i le se fulu lima mai le tula. Here's a look at your weather, American Samoa, for tonight. It's mostly cloudy, numerous showers, lows around 76, northwest winds of 10 to 15 miles per hour. For Wednesday through to Thursday night, mostly cloudy, numerous showers, highs around 87, lows around 78, with variable winds of up to 10 miles per hour. Looking ahead to Friday through to Monday next week, the weatherman says it's mostly cloudy, scattered showers, highs around 88, lows around 78, with southeast winds of 10 to 15 miles per hour. Ia o tātou tala nai vai whanua mea la tutupu le tātou tunu le neiaso le ngā te leo tala i mea lo tutupu le Pasifika o tala mai no mamao ma le tātou report le tau mo Amerika Samoa whawhataili whatasmai le nei whiawhi manuia malolonga whasoifoia. That's your news, your world news, and of course your Pacific news from KVZKTV, as well as your weather. We'll have plenty for you tomorrow at the same time. Until then, good night.